Hey guys, so I just want to talk through real quick 423 and looking at line of best fit in relation to a scatter plot. Kind of what does that mean for the line of best fit when you're going through and explaining an equation and the connection it has to the graph. So let's go ahead and look at an example here. So let's take a look at this graph. This graph is looking at ice cream sales in Michigan. I would say that this graph has a positive strong correlation. And I would say it's strong because these little dots right here, these dots are relatively close to my line of best fit, which means that there's a strong correlation. If my dots are more spread out, like all over the place, further away from my line of best fit, that would be a weaker correlation. Positive because we are increasing in value here. So looking at our ice cream sales in relation to the temperature outside, we can see that the warmer the temperature, the more sales there are. So when we're talking about what is the correlation, think of correlation. Another word would just be connection. What is the connection between the sales and the temperature? And what we could say here is just talking about, again, in general, as the temperature increases, the sales of ice cream increases. And that would be it. That would be a great description of the connection or the correlation between ice cream sales in Michigan and the temperature. All right, let's go ahead and look here. So given the line of best fit is y equals 110 plus 18x, explain the meaning of the slope and the y-intercept. So now it's actually giving us an equation for this line of best fit here, okay? And so what it's looking at is we have a slope of 18. So my slope is 18 here. And in this equation, 110 would represent my y-intercept. Okay, so using these specific numbers, we want to describe, okay, what would be a description of this given this graph? Okay, so slope of 18, we would say 18 rise over run, right? Rise over run. So we would say for every, so $18, right? Because rise, for every $18 in sales, the temperature increases 1 degree Celsius. And I'm unable to type a little degree sign right now. But remember, 18 written as like a fraction, it's like 18 over 1. That's where I got the 1 from. So for every $18 in sales, the temperature increases 1 degree Celsius. You could have flipped that as well and wrote for every increase in 1 degree Celsius, the sales increases by $18. Okay, you could have put that as well. Exact same thing. Okay, let's go ahead and look here at my y-intercept. Now my y-intercept is 110. 110 what? Well, y value, 110, we're talking about $110. So I can go ahead and label that here. A description for your y-intercept, a great way to describe it is always with a start or beginning of something. Okay, so we could use this in a sentence like we start at $110 in sales when it is 10 degrees Celsius outside. Okay, so something, even this beginning part, we started at $110 in sales. Perfect. That's a great way to describe your y-intercept. If you want to add what the x value is, that's awesome, but you don't need to. This is actually not needed. So we could just say we started, let me fix that. We started at $110 in sales. Okay, so looking at 423 here, correlation, what's the connection? Describe your slope, describe your y-intercept. All right, here is the next example. We are looking at average temperature and the elevation. Okay, notice here now we're decreasing in value, so we have a negative slope. And again, I would say this is a relatively strong correlation. So how about you pause this video and take a second and give this one a try here. All right, hopefully you've given this one a try on your own. I would say the connection would be as the elevation increases, so as we gain more elevation, okay, the average annual temperature, well, as we go to the right, my temperature is decreasing here, okay? That would be our general connection here. My slope for this equation, careful, this one was a little tricky. It's -1/150, okay? That negative actually goes with your slope here. So we would want to say for every 150 meters in elevation up or elevation increase, you lose, or the temperature decreases by 1 degree Celsius. And again, I don't have a Celsius sign, okay? So you'd want to say something about as the elevation increases, your temperature is decreasing, and you want to make sure you use the specific numbers, okay? Our y-intercept here is 22.5. Okay, again, y-intercept, we're talking about degrees Celsius here. So we would want to say we started at an average annual temp of 22.5 degrees Celsius. Okay. And again, started, begin, both of those, as long as you have that keyword in your sentence, that would be great. All right, guys, this is 423, okay? Make sure you practice some problems before you move on to that mastery quiz. All right, email me if you have any questions. Have a good day, guys.